this year. They each get an envelope in those. For our meat goat rate of gain, our champion was Addison Carey with 0.58 pounds per day. Our reserves, we have a tie. Bowen Clifford and Raiden Garrett, 0.47 pounds per day. For our dairy goats, our champion was Easton Handshoe with a rate of 0.54 pounds per day. And our reserve champions, we also have a tie. Owen Brown and Blake Handshoe, 0.53 pounds per day. And our two herdsman awards go to, we have two individuals that we witnessed throughout the week helping keep the barn clean. Our barn is hard to keep clean because the shavings are always coming out from the pen, so it's a constant sweeping. This year we are going to give those to Ashlyn Comet and Micah Slayball. Chelsea, they get an envelope. Yeah. All right. That's it.
That's for you. I'll announce the name. All right, our first goat in will be Taylor Handshoe. She had the champion heavy medium weight dairy weather and grand champion dairy weather.
All right, on the grand champion right here on the goat. And how much you want to give forward here? And who give it about $5,000? $5,000, start me in. What's your pleasure here? How much for it? Who give $1,000? $1,000 on the champion right here. 500, thank you. Now 6 at 5, 600. Now 7 at 600. Now 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8. We give 8, 9, 9. Now we get 900 at 9 bid. Now 1,000. Now $1,100 on it. At 1,000 bid, 1,100. Now 12, 12, 12 to 1, 1,200. At 1,100, up and 12 to 1, 12, 12, 12 to get $1,200 on 12. Now 13, 13, 13 bid. Now 1,300 at $1,200 bid. Now 1,300. 12.50. Now 13 at 12.50 bid. Now 1,300 at 12.50 bid. Now 13, 13, 13, 13 bid. Now $1,300. You want to do it at 12.50 bid. Now 1,300. Anybody else? Anybody want to buy them at 1,300 right here on the grand champion? 1,300 at 12.50 bid. I want $1,300. You want to buy them at 1,300. Anybody else? Anybody want to buy them at $1,300? Sold it at $1,250. Bidder number 522.
Yep. Bidder number 522, friends and family of Taylor Handshoe, in memory of Alvin Pinkerton, Pranger Enterprises in Fairfield Township. Henderson Construction, Gene and Sean Clifford family, Joshua Days, The Angler Enterprises Incorporated, Leitner Law Firm PC, Carrie Knott and J.O. Morey. These two. B. West Flooring, Frank Nestor Construction, and Topeka, New Holland.
All right, next we have Blake Handshoe with the reserve grand champion dairy weather.
All right, and who give $1,000 here? Start me in. What's your pleasure? At 3, 400. At 3, but I want 4. Now 5. At 400, but I want 5, but I want 5, 5, 5, and 6, and 6, and 6, but I want 600. At 6, 7. At $600, but now 7, and 7, 7, and 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Don't be late at 8, 8, but I give 800. Now 9. At 800, but I 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Now I get 900, now 1,000. $1,000, you want to do it now? 1,100. At 1,000, now $1,100 on it. $1,100, you want to give 1,100. At 1,000 bid, 1,200. Now 13. At 12, but I want 13. At 12, but I want 13, 13, but I want $1,300. Anybody else? I'm at 1,300. 12.50. Now 13. At 12.50, but now $1,300. Anybody else? I'm at 1,300. $1,300. You better do it. Sold right there. $1,250.
Bidder 523, friends and family of Blake Handshoe, in memory of Alvin Pinkerton, Pranger Enterprises, Fairfield Township, Clifford Aggregate, Clifford Trucking, Van Horn Properties, RPM Trucking, Buckmaster and Sons, Carla Butler CPA, Fairfield Farmers 4-H Club, Washler Incorporated, and Cattlemen Excavating.
All right, next we have Emery Chaudel with her reserve grand champion market meat goat.
All right, and how much here? And who give it about $1,000? Start me in. What's your budget here? At 3-4. At 300, up and 4 down 5 500. At 400, up and 5 5 to get $500 on it. At 400, up and 5. At 4 bid to 5 to get $500. 5 now 600. At 5 to 1 6 6 6 6 but 1 600. At 500, up and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 but 1 600. Now 7. At 6 bid now $700. What do it here? At 600, up and 700. At 6 bid 7 now able to give 800 at 700 able to give $800 down 99 and I'm going to get 900 800 up and down 99 900 1,000 now 1,100 at $1,000 $1,100 when I'm at 1,100 at $1,000 bid now $1,100 when I'm at 1,100 1,000 bid now $1,100 when I'm at 1,100 now 12 $1,100 bid now 12 to 1 12 12 12 to get $1,200 on it at 1,100 about 12 now 13 and 1,300 and 12 to 1 13 and 12 to 1 13 1250 and now 1,300 at 1,250 bid down 13 but I want $1,300 on it at 1,250 bid now 13 1,500 now 1,750 at 1,500 out of 1,750 at 15 bid now 17 but I want $1,750 at 1,750 17 and a half sold it $1,500 sold it 1,500
Bidder 146, Squire Pallets.
All right, next in we have Isabella Albaugh in her market meat goat. She is the champion intermediate meat goat showman. This is a keep by exhibitor.
All right, and how much who get 500? Start me in 3-4 at 4 at 3-4 at 300 but I'm forward to 1 forward to get 400 at 300 but I'm forward to 1 forward to get $400 on it at 4 to 5 at 400 about 5 now 6. 500 is the bid I'm asking for 6. Now 7. At 7. Now 8. At 700. But give 800. At 700. But give $800 on it. 700. But 8. 700 is the bid asking 800. Now 9. 800. But 9. I'm going to get 900. At 9. Now 1,000. At $1,000 even money. Now $1,100 on it. At 1,000. Now $1,100 is what I'm in here. At $1,000 at 1,100. 1,000. 1,100 down 12. At 1,100. But 12. But 12. 12. 12 to get 1,200. 1,100. But 12. But 12. 12 to get $1,200 as well. So I'm at $1,200. $1,200. Sold $1,100. Sold it $1,100.
Split between 178, complete maintenance, and 113 Fairfield Township. Clifford Aggregate, Clifford Trucking, RPM Trucking, Gene and Sean Clifford Family, Albright One Stop Grocery, Carper Family Supply, Washler Incorporated, Cattlemen Excavating, Don and Marta Orwig, Auburn Dental Associates, Open Door, and Real Estate, the Nestor team.
All right, next we have Lydia McHenry. Lydia is the champion senior dairy goat showman.
All right, and how much who get 500 at 3-4 at 300 but on 400 at 3 but on 4 to get $400 now 5 at 400 but on 5 but on 5 to get 500 at 400 but on 5 but on 5 now 600 at 5 but on 6 but on $600 at 5 but on 6 at 5 be able to want 550 at 5 be able to get 550 at 550 now 6 at 550 bid now 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 but on $600 everybody else at 550 bid now 600 at 550 bid now $600 there was at 600 sold it up front at $550.
Bidder 118, Smithfield, Grant, and Franklin Townships. Klink Trucking, DeKalb County Farm Bureau, Jeff and Paula Shipe, Lauren and Heidi Van Rossel, RP Wakefield, Propane People Incorporated, Troy Mechanical, and Empire Industries Incorporated.
All right, next we have Micah Slabaugh, county-born market dairy goat, champion county-born dairy weather, I should say.
All right, and how much here? 400 at 3, but one phone, but you get $400 at 3, but I'm 4, but one phone, but you get 400 at 3, but one phone, but you get $400 at 3, but one 4 at 304 at 405 at 400, but I'm 5, but one 5, but you get 500 at 400, 500 at $500 on it at 5 now 600 at 500, 6 and 6 and 6 and 6, but I want 600 at 5 bid now 550 at 5 bid now 550, 5.5 now 600 at 550 bid now 6 and 6 and 6 and 6, but I want 600 at 550 bid now 6, but I want $600 at 600. Sold $550. Sold it $550.
Bidder 116, Jackson and Union Townships. DeKalb Farm Mutual, H&H Farms, Mike and Diane Heffley, Michelle Snyder Realtor, McLaughlin Tax Accounting, Nugent Law, and Pizza Forum.
All right, next we have Natalie Dunn, the champion medium weight dairy weather.
All right, and who give $1,000 here? Start me in 400 at 3, but I want 4 at 300. I'm on 4, but I want 4 to get 400 at 4 to get $400 at 3, but I want 4 now 5 at 400. I'm on 5, but I want 500 now 600. At 6, now 7, at 600, up and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 to get 700. At 6, bid down 7, at 6, bid down 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 to get $700. Somebody else put on 7, 8, don't be late at 8. At $700 bid now, able to give $800 on it, 700, about 800. Was that a yes? 8, now 9, 8 bid. 1,000, I like a style. Now 1,100. At 1,000, now at $1,100. Robin here. At 1,000, now at $1,100. Everyone else, I'm at $1,100. $1,100. Sold $1,000. Sold it 1,000.
Bidder 146, Squire Pallets.
All right, next we have Leroy Ruckman, champion heavyweight market meat goat.
All right, and how about here at 400 at 4 now 5 at 400 up at 5 to 1 5 to get 500 at 400 up at 5 to 1 5 to get $500 here at 400 up at 5 now 6 at 5 at 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 but I want 600. Who get 550? I'll do it your way. At 5 to 1 550. At 5 to 1 5 to 1 5 to 5 to get 550. At 500 550 550 better now 550 550 now 600. At 550 better now 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 but I want 600. At 550 bid now $600. So I'm at 600. Sold at $550. Sold at $550.
Bidder 112, Concord, Spencer, and Newville Townships. Auburn Firefighters Local 2454, Masonry by Richmond Incorporated, Moore's Welding, PS Logistics, Seckler's Pickles, Seaber Oil, Crow's Nest Farms, recognizing Donna Crow.
All right, we have Marissa Lariman in now with her county-born goat.
All right, and how much here? 400 at 4. Thank you. Now 5 at 400. But on 5 to 1 5 to get 500 at 400. But on 5 to 1 5 to get $500 at 400. But on 5 at 5 now 600 at 5 to 1 6 at 5 to 1 6 and 6 and 6 and 6. But on 600 to get 550. I'll do it your way. 550 at 550 now 600 at 550. Bid now 6 but I want $600 at 550. But now 6 and else at $600. I'm at 600. Sold it right there at $550. Sold it at $550.
Bidder 112, Concord, Spencer, and Newville Townships. Masonry by Richmond Incorporated, Auburn Local Firefighters 2454, Moore's Welding, PS Logistics, Spencerville Fire Department, Sportsman's Cove, Crow's Nest Farms, recognizing Adam Crow.
All right, next we have 10-year 4-H member Caleb Slaybaugh. He exhibited the champion light medium weight dairy weather and was also 5th overall, I believe. So I have a little letter here to read from Caleb. I really enjoyed my 10 years in 4-H and want to thank my parents and brothers who've helped me out every year, along with all the support from my friends and family. To anyone just starting, do as much as you can. The 10 years goes by quick.
All right, a 10-year member right here, and who give $1,000? Start me in. What's your pleasure here? 300, 400, at 3, 4, at 3, but I want 4 to give $400 at 300, but I want 4, at 3, 400, now 500, at 400, but I want 5, but I want 5 to give 500, at 4 bid, now 5, but I want $500 at 400, but I want 5, at 4 bid, now 5, a 10-year member, at 500, now 600, at 5, but I want 600, at 5, but I want 6, you're out up top, 6, now 7, at 600, but I want 7, to give 700. At 6 bid down 7 give 700. Now we give $800 on it. At 700 I'm going to give 800. 700 is the bid I'm asking for $800. You're going to do it 800. 800 to 900 800 bid to 9 I'm going to get $900 on it. $900 is 800 9. Now $1,000. Thank you. And now 1100 at $1,000 $1,100. You're going to do it. A 10-year member right here. A 1,000 bid asking 1100. 1,500, thank you, and now 2,000 at 1,500. But I two, but I want two, but I get 1,600. Last chance, but I'm at 1,600. Sold at $1,500. Sold at 1,500.
Bidder 146 Squire Pallets.
All right, we now have Ashlyn Comment coming in. She is also a 10-year member. And her note reads, I would like to thank my parents and family for the support over the last 10 years. I'd like to thank my dad for all his advice through all of these years, even though I felt like not listening to it in the moment, because as a kid, I thought I was always right. Mom, thank you for supporting me from the stands and being my biggest cheerleader. My biggest piece of advice is sometimes it's just best to listen to your parents.
Amen.
Round of applause for that, please. I would also like to thank all my buyers from the last 10 years. It is truly appreciated.
All right, a 10-year member right here. At 3, 4, 5, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,250, and now 1,500, and now 1,700, and 2,000 at 1,700, but I give 2,000 at 1,700, but I want 2, but I want 2. Now 2,250 at 2,000, but I want 2,250, but I want 22 and a half at 2,250. Now 2,500 at 2,250, bid to 25, but I want 5, but I get 27.50 at 25 bid. Now 7.5 at 25, 7.5 and 3, $3,000. Do it at 27.5, but I want 3, but I get 3,000. Now 3,500 at 3 bid. Now 35, 5, but I want $3,500 with 3,500. 3,000 is the bid I'm asking for 3,500. I have it. Now 4,000 at 3,500, but now 4,000, now 4,500 at 4 bid, down 45, 5, but I want 4,500 at 4,000, now $4,500, but I'm at 4,500. 4,000 is the bid I'm asking for $4,500. Everybody else? 4,500, now 5, and now 5, 5,000, now 6, at 5, but I want 6,000, at 5, but I want 6,000, 5 is the bid I'm asking for $6,000, at 5, but I want $6,000. Anybody else at $6,000? Sold at $5,000. It pays to listen to your parents' advice.
We're splitting 146 Squire Pallets and 401 Dow's Big Hands Big Heart Foundation.
All right. Next in the ring with her market meat goat is Addison Carey.
All right, and how much here? At 3, 4. At 3, but I want 400. Now 5. At 400, but I want 5, but I want 5 to get 500. 400 is the bid, asking 500. Are there any advances? At 400, but I want 5, but I get 500. At 400, but I want 5. Now 600. At 5, but I want 6, but I want $600 at 500, but I now 6. At 5, but I want 550. At $500 bid, down by 550, bid down 5.5. Anybody else at $550? You want to bid one more time at 550? 500 is the bid I'm asking for $550. You want to do it at 550? You want to get 550? Sold $500.
Bidder 112, Concord, Spencer, and Newville Townships. Masonry by Richmond Incorporated, PS Logistics, Sportsman Cove, St. Joe Lions Club, St. Joe Service Repair, Tri-State Motorcycle Club, and Crow's Nest Farm recognizing Amy Lehrman.
All right, next to me have Janet Williams with her market meat goat.
All right, and how much here? Here comes Janet. All right, I've got 400 at 3, but I want 400 at 300. I'm forward. I want forward to get 400 at 400 down 5 at 400. I'm down 5, but I want 5 to get 500 and forward. I want 5, but I want 5 to get 500. 400 5 and 450 now 500 at 450 been to 5 but I want 500 at 450 been down 5 but I want 5 to get 500. 500 down 5.5 at 5 bid down 555 55 50 bid down $550 round at 550 and else at $550 sold at $500 sold at 500.
Bidder 111, Butler and Kaiser Township. Jim Steigman Ford, API Construction Corp, Shot Construction, Marianne A. Flower Pot, Armstrong and Son Transport, St. James Restaurant, Weller Farms, Garrett Veterinary Hospital, and Worko Incorporated.
All right, next we have Indy Clifford in the ring with her market meat goat.
All right, and how much here? 400 at 3, but I want 4 down 5 but I want 500 at 400 5 and 6 and 6 and I got 5 up front, 600, now 700, now 800 at 700, 8, now 900, now 1,000 at 900, but now 1,000 at 1,000, now 12. I got 1,000 to the back, 1,100, 1,200, now 13 at 12 on Ben. The rest of y'all are out. Now 13 at 13, now 14 at 13, bid now 14, now 15, now 1,500. 16, 17, 18, 19, 2,000, not 21. At 2,000, now 2,100. At 2,000, now 21, but 1 to get 2,100, now 2. At 21, 2, 2,200. At 2,100, now 22, 2 to get 2,200. Now 3, 24, 25, now 26. At 25, but 126. At 25, but 126, 6, but $2,600, about at 2,600. 25, but 126. 2,600, now 7. Now 27, 27, now 28, 29, 3,000, now 31, 3,000, up and 31, $3,100, but I'm at 3,100, $3,100, but I'm at 3,100. Sold it, $3,000, sold it, $3,000.
Bidder 146, Squire Pallets.
All right, next in the ring, we have Bowen Clifford with his market meat goat.
All right, and how much here? 400 at 3, 4, but I want 5, 6, but I want 600 now 7 to give $700 on it. At 7 now we get 800 now 9, 800 now 9 to 9 now 1,000. 2,000 now 3 at 2, but I want 3,000 at 2, but I get 3, but I get 2,500 at 2,500 now 3 at 2,500 3, but I want 3, but I get 3,000 at 2,500 3 now 35, 5, but I want 3,500 at 3,500 now 4 at 3,500 but I want 4, but I want 4, but I get 4,000 at 4 down 45, 4,000. Is that what you got? Now 4,500. 4 now, 45, 5 to get 45 at 4,000, 45 and now 5 at 45. And I'm going to 5 to get $5,000 at 45, 6,000 now 7 at 6, 7 at 600,000. Up and 7 and 7 and 7 to get 7,000 at 6 bid down 7,000, $7,000. You want to do it? 7,000 sold, $6,000 sold it, 6,000.
Bidder 146, Squire Pallets.
Thank you, Rocky.
Next in is April Williams with her market meat goat. This is a member keep.
All right, and how much here? 400 at 300. I'm gonna forward to get 400 at 3, but about forward to get $400 at 300. I'm gonna forward to get 400 down 5 at 400. I'm gonna 5 to get $500 at 400. I'm gonna 5 to get 500 at 5 now 600 at 5 to 1 6 but I want $600. I'm gonna get 550 at 5 bid down 550 bid down 5.5 and else I'm at $550. Sold at $500, sold at $500.
Bidder 116, Jackson and Union Townships. Wash Their Garbage and Recycling, Mike Benbow, Campbell and Fetter Bank. Counter at 40A Self-Storage, Ron and Linda Hefty, and Wally's Barbershop.
Next up is Addison Moffler with her market meat goat.
Hey, there's Addison. Thanks for coming today. We appreciate it. All right, and how much should we get for it? Your dad said to give you a hard time. Is that okay? At 3, 400. At 3, but I want phone. We get 400. Not 5. At 400, but I want 5. But I want 5. Down 6 and 6 and 6 and 6. But I want 600. At 5 bid down 6 and 6 and 6. But I get 550. At 5 bid down 550 bid down 5.5. At 500, but I want 5.5. But I want half. But I get 550. At 500, I want $550. We're gonna do it one more time at 550. 500 is better asking for $550. Sold it at $500. Sold it $500.
Bidder 202, trademark title.
Next in is Rylan Moffler.
All right, there she is, Rylan. And how much should we get for it here? At 3, 400. At 3, but I want forward to get 400. At 300, but I'm forward to want forward now 555. My dad said to give you a hard time too. 5, 600. At 6, but I want 7 to get 700. At 6, 7. At 600, but I'm 7 to get $700. At 600, but I'm 700. 6 bid down 700. Sold your rate at $600.
Bidder 215, Heidman Steel.
Next in is Olivia Lehrman. This is a member keep.
All right, and how much here? 3, 400. At 3, but I want 4. Now 5. At 400, but I want 5. But I want 5. But I get $500 at 400. But I want 5. At $400, but I want 5. But I want 5. But I get 500. At 400, but I want 5. But I want 5. But I get $500 at 400. But I want 5. But I want 5. Now 600. At 5 bid down 6 and 6 and 6 and 6. But I want 600. But I get 550. At 5 bid down 5.5. But I get $550 on it. 500, but I want 5.5. $550. Sold 500. Sold 500.
Bidder 112, Concord, Spencer, and Newville Townships. Masonry by Richmond Incorporated, PS Logistics, Sportsman Cove, St. Joe Lions Club, St. Joe Service Repair, Tri-State Motorcycle Club, Baker Metalworks, and Craft Water Solutions.
Our next exhibitor is George Williams. This is a member keep.
All right, and how much should we get forward here? At 3, 400. At 300, but I'm forward to one forward to get 400. At 300, but I'm forward to one forward to get 400. At 300, but I'm forward to one forward to get 400. At 3 bid down 400. At 3, 4 down 5. At 400, but I'm forward to one 5 to get 500. At 400, but I'm forward to one 5 to get 500. At 4, 5 down 600. At 5 to 1 6 6 6 6, but I want $600 at 500, but I'm 600. At 5 bid down 550. At 5 bid down 50 bid down 5.5. Anybody else at $550? Sold it $500. Sold it 500.
Bidder 250, Waterloo Power Sports.
Our next exhibitor is Raiden Garrett. This is a member keep.
All right, 3, 400. At 300, but I'm forward to one forward to get 400. At 300, but I'm forward to one forward to get $400. At 300, but I'm 400. Now 5. At 400, but I'm forward to one 5 to get 500. At 400, but I'm forward to one 5 to get 500. At 400, but I'm forward to one 5 to get 450. At 450, now 500. At 450, bid to 5 to 1 500. At 450, bid number 500 down 550. At $500, bid down 5.5 to get 550. At $500, bid number 550. 50 bid down 5.5. And else at $550. Sold it right there. 500. Sold it 500.
Bidder 111, Butler and Kaiser Townships. XY Tool and Day Incorporated, Brent and Sonia Weller Family, Farmers and Merchants Bank, Bruce and Lori Getz, Worko Incorporated, Lon and Kay Fritz, Schott Construction, and Jerry and Alice Weller.
Our next exhibitor is Brody McCartney. This is a member keep.
All right, and how much here? 3, 400. And 3, but I want forward to get $400 here. At 300, but I'm forward to forward to get $400. At 300, but I'm 4. Now 5. At 400, but I'm 5. Now 600. At 5, but I want 6, 6, 6, 6, but I want 600. At 500, but I 6 and 6 and 6, but I want 600. You're on the same bidder. At 5, but I want 6, 6, 6, but I want 600. At 500, but I 6 and 6 and 6 and 6, but I want $600. At 500, but I 600. Anybody else? At $600, 5, 6 now 7. At 6 bid down 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. to get 700. At 6 bid down 7 now. We but give me $100 under 700 800. At $700 bid now. We but give me $100 under 700 800. Sold it your way at $700. Sold it 700.
Bidder 401. Dallas Big Hands Big Heart Foundation.
Next up is Wyatt Ruckman.
All right, for Wyatt right here at 400. At 300, 400. Now 5. At 400, 5 to get 500. At 400, 5 to get $500 400 5. At $400 bidding down 5 to get 450. 500 now 550 at 500 but down 5.5 at 5 bid down 555 55 55 50 bid down 5.5. Anybody else? Remember I'm at $550. $550 sold 500.
Bidder 112 Concord and Spencer and Newville Townships. Masonry by Richmond Incorporated, St. Joe Lions Club, Tri-State Motorcycle Club, Baker Metalworks, Craft Water Solutions, Weibel Realty. Winker Construction, and Washler Incorporated.
Our next exhibitor is Anna Ruckman.
All right, and how much here? 400 at 300 but a 4 down 5 at 400 but a down 5 but a 1 5 5 5 5 5 5 to get 500 at 400 but a down 5 but a 1 5 5 5 5 to get $500 at 400 but a down 5 but a 1 5 5 5 to get 500 at 500 now 600 at 5 but a 1 6 6 6 6 but a 1 $600 at 500 but a down 6 at 5 bid down 5 55 55 50 bid down 5.5. Anybody else at $550? Sold it at $500. Sold it at 500.
Bidder 112 Concord, Spencer, and Newville Townships. St. Joe Lions Club, Tri-State Motorcycle Club, Baker Metalworks, Craft Water Solutions, Weibel Realty, Winker, Leckleidner Family, and Washler Incorporated.
Next in is Weston Nestor.
All right, at 400 at 300 but a 4 but a 1 4 to get 400 at 300 but a 4 down 5 but a 1 5 5 5 5 5 to get $500 at 4 but a 5 at $400 bid down 5 but a 1 5 5 5 to get 5 and 6 6 6 but a 1 600 at 500 but a 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 gives 700 at 6 bid down 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 to get $700 now we did 80 but to give 800 at 700 but to 80 but to give $800 to Bell's from 800 700 but to $800 800 sold right there. $700 sold it. $700.
Fairfield Township.
113.
113. Clifford Aggregate, Clifford Trucking, Jim-L Incorporated, Leitner Law Firm PC, Hine Farms, DeKalb Metal Finishing, and Kendallville Animal Hospital.
Next in is Colston Nestor.
All right, at 300 at 300 but a 4 but a 1 4 down 5 but a 1 5 5 5 to get 500 at 400 but a 5 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 but a 1 $600 at a 500 but a 600 at 5 bid down 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 but a 1 $600 down 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 to get 700 at 6 bid down 700 at 6 bid down 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 to get 700 don't be lady $800 at Bell's 800 at 700 but $800 at Bell's 800. Sold right there at $700. Sold at $700. 113, the buyer.
Bidder 113, Fairfield Township, Clifford Aggregate, Clifford Trucking, Open Door and Real Estate, the Nestor Team, Jim-L Incorporated, and DeKalb Metal Finishing.
Next in is Hunter Hurrah.
All right, and how much here? 400 at 3 but a 1 4 but to get 400 at 300 but a 4 5 but a 1 5 5 5 5 to get $500 at 400 but a 5 but a 1 5 at 4 bid to 5 5 5 down 6 at 500 but a 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 but a 1 600 at $500 bid now 6 and 7 at 6 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 to get $700 on it at 600 but a 700 6 bid down $700 and Bell's at 700 6 bid down 700 and Bell's at $700 at 700. Sold $600. Sold it $600.
Bidder 113, Fairfield Township. RPM Trucking, Pranger Enterprises Incorporated, Albright's One Stop Grocery, B&J International LLC, and DeKalb Metal Finishing.
Our next exhibitor is Madison Hurrah.
All right. Open the gate and let them walk. At 300, 400, at 3, 4, at 300, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, to get $400 at 300, 4, 4, 4, down, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, but I want 500, at 400, 5 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6, but I want 600, at 5 bid now 600, 550, now 600, at 550 bid down 6, 6, 6, 6, but I want $600 about 5 at 600, 550 bid now 6, sold right there, $550, sold at 550.
Bidder 113, Fairfield Township. Indiana Physical Therapy, B&J International LLC, Reinhold Tech and Western Wear, Steve and Rosemary Hartman, Kendallville Animal Hospital, VN Farms Incorporated, CS Concrete, Thunderglass, Jamel Incorporated, Albright's One Stop Grocery, and Carrie Knott and J.O. Maury.
Next in is McKinley Hurrah.
All right, for McKinley right here at 400, at 3, but I want 4, but I get $400 at 300, 4, but I want 5, at 400, but I want 5, but I want 5, 5, 5, 5, now 600, at 5, but I want 6, 6, 6, but I want 600, at 500, but I 6 and 6 and 6 and 6, but I want 600, at 5 bid down 550, at 5 bid down 550, 550, 550 bid down 5 and a half, and now 600, at 550 bid down 600, at 600, you're out in the front. In all the way in the back at 550 now $600 5 at 600 550 bid 600 now 7 at $600 bid and now 7 against 700 at $600 $700 5 at 700 6 bid now 700 sold it in the back at $600 sold it $600.
Next in is Angelica
Bidder
Dilt.
178, Complete Maintenance.
Thank you, Complete Maintenance, bidder number 178.
Next in is Angelica Diltz.
All right, at 300, 400, at 3, but I want 4, but I get $400 at 300, but I want 4, at 3 bid down 4, down 5, but I want 5, 5, 5, but I get 500, at 500, but I 6, 6, 6, but I want 600, at 500, but I 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6, but I want 550, at 5 bid down 550, 550, 550 bid down 5 and a half, and now 600, at 550 bid down 6, 6, 6, 6, but I want $600 under 5 and a half, but I want 6, and else at 600, sold at $550, sold at $550.
Bidder 113, Fairfield Township. Eastview Angus Farms LLC, DeKalb Farm Mutual Insurance Company, Albright's One Stop Grocery, Cheryl Castleman, CPA PA, Hydrovac Site Solution, Reinhold Tech and Western Wear, VN Farms Incorporated, CS Concrete, South Milford Grain, Pranger Enterprises Incorporated, Carrie Knott and J.O. Maury, and Indiana Saw and Concrete.
Our next exhibitor is Catherine Swigart.
All right, and how much here? 3, 400, at 3, but I want 4, but I get $400 at 300, but I want 4, at 3, but I want 4, but I get $400 now 5, at 400, but I want 5, but I want 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, but I get 500, at 4, but I want 5, 500, now 600, at 5, but I want 6, 6, now 7, at 600, but I want 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 to get 700, at 6, bid down 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 to get 700, 6 is the bid, and I'm asking for $700, everybody else will at 700. Sold in the back at $600. Sold at $600.
I could not read that far. Bidder 284 in memory of Bob and Judy Miller by Kevin and Rachel Flock, and 418 Premier Fencing. Keep.
Our next exhibitor is Georgia Martin.
All right, for Georgia right here at 400. At 300, forward 1, 4, 4, forward to get 400. At 300, forward 1, 4, 4, forward to get 4, down 5, 5, 5, forward 1, 500. At 400, forward 1, 5, 5, 5, 5, forward to get 500. At 5, down 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, forward 1, 600. At 5 to get 550. At 500, 550, 550, down 600. At 550, bid down 6 and 6 and 6 and 6, forward 1, $600. Anybody else about 600? 550, bid 1, 600. Sold right there, $550.
Bidder 117, Richland Township. DeKalb Farm Mutual, Pam Siebert, Richard Squire, J.F. Miller Family, DeKalb County Farm Bureau, Tim and Mandy Haynes, Brian and Stephanie Clifford, Avila Grain, Alan Haynes, Noble County Disposal, and Washler Garbage and Recycling.
Our next exhibitor is Leah Martin. There is a correction for Leah. The floor price is incorrect in your booklet. It should be $1.90.
Wow, that changes everything. All right, at 400. At 300, forward to 1, forward to get 400. At 300, forward to 1, forward to get 4, down 5 to 1, 5, 5, 5 to get 500. At 400, 5 to 1, 5, 5, 5 to get $500 and a now 6. At 5 bid down 6 and 6 and 6 to get 550. At 5 bid down 550 and 600. At 550 bid down 6, 6, 6, 6, but $1, $600 at 550 bid now 600. Anybody else at $600? Sold it right there, $550.
Bidder 117, Richland Township. DeKalb Farm Mutual, Pam Siebert, Ebert Living Trust, J.F. Miller Family, DeKalb County Farm Bureau, Tim and Mandy Haynes, Mike and Laura Tullis, Noble County Disposal, and Gail Bratton.
Next in is Bridget Dunn.
All right, I got $400 here at 3 to 1, 4, 4. At 300, forward to 1, 4, 4, forward to get 400. At 300, down forward to 1, 4, 4, forward to get 400. Down 5, 5, 5 to 1, 5. At 400, 5 to 1, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 to get $500 under 400, down 5. At 400 bid 500, now 600. At 5 to 1, 600, down 7. At 6, 7. At 600, up and 7 and 7 and 7, 7 to get 700. Now 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. No bid 8, 8, 8, able to give 800. At 8, 9, 9, 800, up and 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 900. Now 1,000. At 900, but now $1,000. You're going to do it. At 900, now 1,000. At 900, now 1,000. Now 1,100. At 1,000, now $1,100. About 1,100. At 1,000, now $1,100. About $1,100. You're going to do $1,100. $1,100. Now 12. And now 12. 1,100, about 12. 12. 12 to get 12. 1,100, now 1,200, now 1,200, about 1,200, now 13. At 12, but 13, 13, 13, but 1,300. Sold $1,200. Sold it $1,200.
Bidder 146, Squire Pallets.
Next up is Abby Harris.
All right, and how about cheer 400 at 3 but 1 4 now 500 at 400 5 but 1 5 5 5 5 to get $500 on it 400 but 5 at 5 down 600 at 500 up at 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 but 1 600 at 5 bid down 550 at 5 bid down 5 and a half 5 5 to get $550 on it 550 down 6 at 550 bid to 6 6 6 but 1 600 at 550 bid to 6 6 6 but 1 600 sold it right there $550 sold it $550 bidder number 113. Fairfield Township on behalf of
Jimmo Incorporated, Stephen Rosemary Hartman, DeKalb County Farm Bureau, Pranger Enterprises Incorporated, Albright's One Stop Grocery, Thunderglass, Hydrovac Site Solutions, B&J International LLC, Reinhold Tack and Western Wear, Tom and Pam Orwig, Bradley Overhead Door Incorporated, Harrow Mechanical Construction, and Kendallville Animal Hospital.
Next in is Connor Cottrell. There's also a correction on his market price. It should be $1.90.
All right, keep that in mind. At 400. At 3, but 1 4 to get 400. At 300, but 4 to get $400 at 300, but 4. At 300, bid now 4 but 1 4 to get 400. At 3 bid now 4 to get 400 down 5. At 400, but 5 to 1 5 5 to get 500. 5 5 to get 500. At 5 down 600. At 5 to 1 6 6 600 in the back and now 7. At 6 bid now 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 7 to get 700. At 6 bid now 7 and 7 and 7 7 to get 700. Anybody else at 700? Sold it your way in the back at 600.
Bidder 145, Community State Bank.
Next in is Owen Brown.
All right, for Owen right here at 300, 400, at 3, but I want four, but I get $400 under 3, but I want 4, at 304, now 5, but I want 5, but I get 500, at 5, now 6, I have 5 up front, you got to be 6, now 7, at 6 bid, now 7, at 600, but on 7, and 7, and 7, 7, to get 700. I got Ben in, the rest of y'all are out, 6, 700, at 6 bid, but I want 700, at 600, but on 7, and 7, and 7, 7, to get $700, at 600, but on 7, and else at 700. Sold it Ben's way at $600. Sold it 600.
Bidder 109, Eden Farmers Co-op.
Next in, Caden Brown.
All right, and how much right here? At 3, 4. At 300, but 4, but 400. Now 5. At 400, but 5, but 5, at 500. Now 600. At 5, but 6, 6, 6, but 600. At 5, but get 550. At 5, bid down 555, 55, 55, 50. Now 600. At 550, bid down 6 and 6 and 6 and 6, but 600. At 550, bid down $600. So I'm at 600. 550 bid now 600. Sold $550. Sold at 550. Bidder number 105.
Ag 1 Agency.
Next in, Bryce Wallace.
All right, and how much here for Bryce's goat right here? 3, 400. At 3, but I want 4, but I get $400 under 300, but I want 4. At 300, but I want 4, but I want 4, down 5, but I want 5, but I get 500. At 400, but I want 5, but I want 5, but I get 500. At 4, but I want 5, but I want 5. Get your hands up, get your bids in. 1,000, I like a style, now 1,100. At 1,000, now at $1,100. Anybody else from now at 1,100? At 1,000, now at $1,100. I'm at 1,100. 1,100, now 12. Not 12, not 12, not 1,200. 1,100, but not 1,200. 1,200. Anybody else at $1,200? Anybody else? Last chance, 1,200. Sold $1,100. Sold it 1,100.
Bidder 338, New Millennium.
Our next exhibitor.
Hoosiers Feeding the Hungry.
Our next exhibitor is Ashton Chittenden.
All right, at 3, 400. At 3, but I want 4, but I get $400 here. At 300, but I want 4, but I want 4, but I get 400. At 300, but I want 4, but I want 4, but I get 400. At 300, but 4, now 5, but I want 5, but I get 500. At 4, now 500. At 4, but I want 5, but I get 500. At 400, but I want $500, but I'm at 500 now 6. At 5, but I want 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, but I want $600 at 500, but now 6. 5's a bit of asking for $600. Anybody else? What I'm at 600. 550, thank you. Now 600. And 550 bid to 6, 6, 6, but 600. Sold it right there. $550. Sold it. $550.
Bidder 111, Butler and Kaiser Townships. Schenk Repair Incorporated, Mark's Wood Shop, Larry and Shelley Adams, Andy and Amy Sutton, Jed Gearhart, Wayne Weller, Tom and Jackie Yard, Stuart and Judy Harshman, Ross Room Repair, and Audiology Always.
Our next exhibitor is Easton Handshoe.
All right, don't call him Weston. And how much should we get for it? 3, 400. At 3, but I want 4. At 3, but I want 4, but I want 4, but I get 400. At 300, but I want 4, but I want 4, but I get 400. At 3, 4, now 5. At 400, but I want 5, but I want 5, but I get 500. At 4, but I want 5, but I get 500. 5, now 500. At 4, but I want 450. 450, now 500, 450 bid now 500, 500, now 600, at 5 but I want 550, at 5 but I want 550, now 600, at 550 bid now 6, at 550 bid now $600, everybody else will buy them at 600, sold 550 up front.
Bidder 113, Fairfield Township. Auburn Dental Associates, Aaron Orwig and Family, Albright's One Stop Grocery, Carper Farm Supply, Henderson Construction, Clink Trucking, DeKalb Farm Mutual Insurance Company, DeKalb County Farm Bureau, Harrow Mechanical Construction, Superior Finish, and Indiana Concrete Sawing and Drilling Incorporated.
Next in, Caden Crable.
All right, for Caden right here, 400 at 3, but $400 at 3, but $4 at 300, but $400 at 3, but $4 at 300, but $4 down 5 at 400, but $5. I took 4 here in the middle. You got to be 5 up top at 500, now 600 at 5 but 6, now 7 at 600, but 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 to get 700 at 600, but 7 and 7 and 7 to get $700 at 600, but 700, 600, but 700. Anybody else? Anybody at $700? Sold $600. Sold it $600.
Bidder 138, Brad Miller.
Next exhibitor, Alex Wolf.
All right, and how about 400 at 300, but $400 to get 400 at 300, but $400 to get 400 at 300, but $400 to get $400 at 3, but $4 at 3, but $400 at 3, but to get 400 at 3, but $400 to get 400 down 5 at 400, but $5 to get 500 at 400, but $5 to get 500 now 600 at 5 but 6 at 5 but 6 now 7 gives 700. At $600, $700 bomb at 700. $600 bid now 700. And about 700. Sold $600. Sold it 600.
Bidder 141 or 341, Jeff Zedike, tree service and stump removal.
Our next exhibitor is Isaac Hefty.
All right, for Isaac at 400 at 3 but 4 at 300 but 4 down 5 but 5 to get 500 at 400 but 5 but 5 to get $500 at 400 but 5 at 4 bid down 500 at $400 bid number 5 but 5 to get 500 at 400 but 5 but 5 now 6 at 500 but 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 but 600 at 5 bid now 6 at 5 but 6 550 now 600 at 550 bid now 6 but $600 at 550 bid now 6 550 bid now $600 bomb at 600 now 50 at 6 bid now 50 bid now 6.5 and else at $650 bomb at 650 sold $600 sold it 600.
Bidder 145, Community State Bank.
Next in is Isaiah Hefty.
All right, for Isaiah Hefty right here at 400 at 300 but 4 to get 400 at 495 at 400 but 5 to get 500 at 400 but 5 now 6 at 500 but 6 and 6 and 6 and 6 but 600 at 6 now 7 at 7 now 8 at 700 but 80 able to give 800 at 700 but 80 able to give $800 so I'm at 800 sold it $700 sold it 700.
Bidder 145, Community State Bank.
Next in is Carrie Ann Knott.
All right, at 400 at 3 but 4 now 5 at 400 but 5 but 5 to get 500 at 400 but 5 now 600 at 5 but 6 but 600 at 5 but 550 at 5 bid down 550 bid down 5.5 at 550 now 600 at 550 bid now 6 at $600 here at 550 bid down 6 but $600 bomb at $600 now 7 at 7 at 6 bid but 650 at 6 bid down 650 bid now 6.5 $650 sold it up front at $600 sold it 600 160 though this time. What is that?
Pranger Enterprises.
Wow, they all been wearing those hats waiting for that all day.
Our next exhibitor is Regan Knott.
All right, for Reagan right here at 400 at 300 but 4 to get 400 at 300 but 4 to get 400 at 3 but 4 down 5 but 500 at 400 but 5 to get 500 now 600 500 to back now 600 at 5 to 6 at 5 to 550 at 5 bid down 550 now 600 at 550 bid now 6 at 600 now 7 at 6 bid down 7 to get 700 at $600 bid number $700 around at 700 sold $600 sold it 600.
Bidder 148, Vision Source, Dr. Morrow.
Hey, I go to him.
Our next exhibitor is Andrew McLean.
All right, for Andrew right here at 3, 400. At 300, about a 4 to get 400. At 4, now 5. At 400, out of it, 5, now 600. At 5, 1, 6, 7. At 600, out of it, 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 to give 700. At 6, bid down 700. At 6 in the back, and now $700. Everybody else arrive at 700. At 6, bid down 7 and 7 and 7 to get 700. Sold $600. Sold it $600. Ben's away.
Bidder 134, Souter Feeds Incorporated.
Our last dairy goat exhibitor will be Eva McHenry.
All right, and how much here? 3, 400. At 3, but I want phone, but I get $400 at 3, but I want 4. At 300, but I want 4, but I want phone, 400. Now 5. At 400, but I want 5, but I want 5, but I get 500. I took it in the back, 500. Now 600. At 5, but I want 6. You're out, Ben. 5, 6. Now you're in. At 7. At 6, bid down 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 and 7 to get 700. 600 is the bid, asking for $700. Anybody else at $700? Sold at $600. Sold it $600. Ben's way. Is that 125?
Bidder 125, Milan Center Feed and Grain. Here you go.
And now to take over auctioneering for the Rabbits will be Mr. Steve Barkus from Leato.
All right, I would like to announce our